Okay, so you sent over this video report. It's about Luka Doncic.
Yeah, the Maverick star.
Right. Huge MVP candidate, obviously. Yeah. And he gets tossed from a game against OKC, which, okay, ejections happen, but...
But this one felt different.
Yeah, the video frames it like he got ejected just for talking to a fan, which sounds, I don't know, pretty unusual.
It definitely grabs your attention, doesn't it? A player like Luka in a game that actually matters for the playoff picture.
Uh-huh.
Getting thrown out for what seems like, well, just talking.
Exactly. In this video, it's got a real slant, you know? Lots of dramatic cuts, fan reaction shots.
It definitely wants you to feel a certain way about it.
For sure. So our mission here, basically, is to dig into what this video actually shows us, right?
Yeah, let's try and separate maybe the hype from what really went down, according to this source.
And figure out what it all means, you know? For the game, for the league, maybe. You wanted to make sense of the chaos.
Let's do it. Let's break down this moment.
Okay, so the video kicks off. We see Luka. He hits this nice little floater. Smooth move.
Classic Luka.
Totally. Then he turns, kind of smirks, looks at a fan, courtside.
Right near the action.
And he says something. The video narrator does this voice, like, "Hey, buddy, you see that bucket?" Something like that.
Yeah, portraying it as pretty harmless banter, basically. Just chirping a bit.
Seems that way. But then... bam, things escalate fast.
That's the key part the video focuses on. The ref's reaction. It suggests the ref thought Luka was talking to him.
Oh, interesting. So a misunderstanding.
Or at least that's the implication, because almost instantly, it's technical foul number 1, followed, like, immediately by technical foul number 2, and he's gone, ejected.
Wow, that quick, like no pause.
Seems incredibly fast, based on how the video presents it.
Yeah.
It really highlights that split-second judgment call.
And they cut to, I think it was a Lakers commentator, absolutely losing it.
Yeah, the video includes that audio. You hear him yelling, "You can't throw a star out for talking to a fan."
He sounds furious.
"This is a joke," he says. It really amplifies that feeling of disbelief, you know, that the video's pushing.
Definitely. And then you see Luka himself, just hands up, looking completely baffled.
Like, what did I do?
Oh.
That bewildered reaction is pretty central to the video's whole narrative.
It makes it seem like he had no idea why he was getting tossed.
Exactly. The narrator even claims Luka was just casually roasting a courtside heckler.
Roasting a heckler, okay.
And that the referee just, quote, took it personally.
So the video is really painting the ref in a specific light here.
Absolutely. It's presenting a very clear perspective that this was an overreaction, maybe even personal. Of course, we're only seeing it through the lens of this one video.
Right, we got to remember that. But the video then shows the immediate impact, right? Like on the Lakers bench.
Yeah, it cuts to LeBron James and the others just looking stunned. Total disbelief on their faces.
And then the game itself.
Oh, yeah. The video makes a big point of this. Right after Luka's out, OKC apparently goes on a huge run, like 17-3.
Ouch. That's a massive swing.
Totally changes the game's momentum. The video even has this funny bit, imagining Luka watching from the locker room.
Helplessly.
Pretty much. Watching Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who the video notes dropped 40 points that night, just take over.
Man, that's gotta sting if you're Luka, or a Lakers fan.
For sure.
Yeah.
It really highlights how crucial one-star player can be, especially in those tight moments. His absence was felt immediately, according to this report.
And the video even jokes about Luka texting Adam Silver, like, "Just find me next time, please."
Yeah, adds a bit of that dramatic, almost sarcastic flair. But it underscores the feeling that the ejection was maybe too severe for the situation.
So this all leads to the video asking that big question, was this the worst call ever?
Which is, you know, obviously subjective. But they try to give it some context.
How so?
They flash up clips of other infamous technicals, like Tim Duncan getting tossed for laughing on the bench.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Joey Crawford, right.
That's the one. And they mentioned the whole Chris Paul versus Scott Foster dynamic, too.
So trying to place Luka's ejection in a kind of hall of fame of controversial calls?
Sort of, yeah. It frames it as part of a pattern, suggesting maybe refs sometimes go too far.
And the video's host definitely has an opinion on this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They argue pretty strongly that refs need to be maybe a bit more lenient with player-fan stuff.
Especially simple chirping.
Right. They raise the point that if this kind of ejection becomes common, you're going to have a lot of stars watching games from the locker room.
Which fans probably won't want.
Exactly. And it leads to that big, bold call to action in the video. NBA, fix this.
Wow.
Strong words.
It reflects a real concern about finding that balance between officiating and letting the game's characters, well, be characters.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then they shift gears a bit, talk about the reaction online.
Right, to the fans. They call NBA Twitter unhinged over this.
Which, let's be honest, isn't always a high bar.
True. But the examples they show are pretty telling, right? It captures that immediate, often very passionate fan reaction.
What kind of stuff did they show? Memes and comments, mostly. Things like, Luka got ejected for breathing too loud.
Okay, classic hyperbole.
Totally. Or, ref really said talk to the hand. Just making light of it, but also expressing that sense of unfairness.
Did they mention that Drake theory?
Yeah, they threw that in, like people speculating maybe Drake was the fan Luka was talking to.
Just adding to the whole online buzz, I guess.
Exactly. It shows how these moments instantly become part of the, the online sports conversation, complete with jokes and theories.
And the host encourages people to weigh in, right? Ask if Luka was robbed.
Yep, definitely trying to fuel that debate and get viewers engaged with their side of the story.
Okay, so wrapping up the video's narrative, how do they frame the end?
They call it Luka vs. ReFS, round 1.
Oh, setting it up like a boxing match. More drama.
Pretty much. It suggests this isn't over, that there's this ongoing tension now.
And there's that visual they use.
Right, Luka walking off, shaking his head, while you see OKC celebrating in the background. It's a powerful contrast. Frustration versus success.
And the host makes some wild prediction about Luka's next game.
Yeah, something like he's going to come back and drop a 50-piece in a megaphone.
A megaphone. Okay, that's vivid.
It's definitely over the top, but it feeds into that whole justice for Luka vibe that runs through the whole piece.
So the message is pretty clear.
Unmistakably. They end with asking viewers to smash like if the refs owe Luka an apology.
Right. Very direct.
And then the final sign-off is, basketball is chaos, and we love it. Which is kind of fun, but you definitely leave feeling the video thinks this particular chaos was unjust.
So, okay, wrapping up our deep dive into this pretty intense video, we've seen how it portrays Luka's ejection, a star player tossed apparently for just talking to a fan.
Yeah, leading to immediate shock from his team, a big swing in the game against OKC.
And just lighting up the internet with debate, memes, the whole thing.
It really forces you to think about the different angles, doesn't it? You've got the ref's perspective making that instant call.
Right. Then Luka's side, or at least how the video presents his side, just interacting with a fan.
And then the fan reaction, which seemed overwhelmingly outraged, at least according to this source.
It definitely highlights those tricky lines in the NBA player-ref interactions, player-fan interactions. Where do you draw them?
Exactly. And it kind of makes you step back and think, beyond just this one ejection, what does it say about the pressure cooker environment of pro sports?
You mean for both the players and the officials?
Yeah. You've got superstars under this constant spotlight, every action scrutinized. And then refs have to make these split-second calls with huge consequences, knowing they'll be analyzed endlessly too.
Finding that sweet spot between enforcing the rules and letting the emotion of the game flow. It's tough.
It really is. How do you maintain order without stifling the passion that makes people watch in the first place? That's a constant balancing act, isn't it? Definitely something to chew on.